What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Trusted Tape, where I sure would appreciate it if you smashed the like button on your way in. We're going to talk Dallas Cowboys and NFL draft things with you today. My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
And I'm, of course, with the godfather of the Dallas draft scene and former Cowboys scout, greatest drafter of all time, but he did it for Philadelphia because he's a jerk. The great and powerful Bryan Broaddus.
Hey, Bri.
How you doing, Bri?
Jeffrey, I'm doing excellent. Sorry I missed you the other day. We had some difficulties at Radio Row that I had to take care of for my team over there at 105.3 The Fan. So my apologies to you.
Well, we call that pulling a Jeff. When you have a problem with a computer or a laptop, we call that pulling a Jeff. In my early streaming career, I was the king of, I forgot to charge my laptop and it just died while I was hanging out with people. So computer problems happen.
I was ready to go. It's just my teammates needed my assistance with my spare computer, which happens to be the one we're talking on today. So, here we are. Back. I told those son of a guns, I go, you guys cost me money, by the way. You know that, right?
Yeah, sure did.
Didn't even phase those two idiots.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. They're just trying to be a good teammate. That's what we do around here.
All right, Bryan, I have some ideas for some draft things today, but I want
to
start just very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hit you with a free agency question first.
Sure.
Because Jerry Jones used the bust the budget phrase again. And so when I hear those words, here's what I think. I think bust the budget means that you don't bottom fish free agency and you sign a real player. So my question to you is, and George Pickens doesn't count. He's already here. He doesn't count. Will the Cowboys, do you believe the Cowboys will sign a $15 million free agent?
Yes, I do. I do. Absolutely do. And if they don't, then I'm going to go after them with both barrels ablazing. You cannot sit here and look at your past history. Your team building at times has been really, really good. It's been very draft and develop and sign your own kind. But no, in this day and age, you need to go and legitimately play into the free agency game. And this is where my hope is. My hope is the coaching search went differently for this defensive coordinator. Check. And now my hope is that after looking at your own football team, realizing the deficiencies you have, you need to go out and sign some players to supplement the 2 picks you have. Or if you move one of the picks or both the picks, whatever you're going to do. But I do believe with all sincerity that Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Will McClay, Brian Schottenheimer are going to be active in free agency. I'm going to have the opportunity to be at the Combine.
Me too.
Coming up here at the end of the month. You hear a lot of rumors, a lot of whispers, a lot of wait, I'm hearing this kind of things. We got the tampering period. I think the Cowboy bus will be parked there at the hotel and open for business. And when it comes to agents coming in and off, to talk about situations, what needs to be done, I think the Cowboys are ready to play in this game. And if they're not, well, then you know what? I'm going to go find another team to go cover, I guess, because I'm not going to say.
No, you're not. Well, just
Crown Global Media is going to pivot to another team is what we're going to cover. No, but no, I just
not with your Houston Texans coverage.
Yeah. Come Mardi Gras with us with the Saints. But yeah, I just don't. I think there's times where Jerry says things and you're like, oh, okay, I'm buying into this one. I'm buying into because I see differences in the way some of these things are being done. And I think listen, I believe this with my heart. And I know this sounds crazy to say. I think they floated the idea of tagging George Pickens with the entertaining the thoughts of maybe visiting with people on the bus in Indianapolis and see if they can get a trade partner for this. I think they are in that mode right now of we'll listen to some opportunities. They're throwing the chum in the water. And if you're one of those general managers, if you're Sean Payton, if you're one of those guys that has some control over your team and you want George Pickens, that bus is parked right there. Step on board, grab yourself a Cole Miller Lite.
Yeah,
Let's talk about let's talk about what we're doing here. So that's kind of where I think the Cowboys are clearly open for business. And I think when we have the tampering period that starts out, we start to hear the rumors, the speculation, all that from the combine. I would not be surprised if Dallas's name's mentioned in all the players that are top dollar guys.
Well, they're going to love that. We're going to love that because we do love us some content. And I just want to be on the record here, not pro trading George Pickens.
I mean, I don't think anybody is on record of say they might be on record. I'm just telling you why I think that tag announcement came out when it did. I think they're trying to get ahead of the game. The NFL does not want you breaking news on Super Bowl Sunday. So why not break it on the Super Bowl Saturday?
Yeah.
But yeah, talking to Adam Schefter, he was adamant about it. Jay Glazer seems to a little bit more cautious in what he said. I trust Jay Glazer a lot because I trust him because I know his relationship with the Jones family. I know for a fact he got Mike McCarthy hired in Dallas. I know that. So to me, when Jay Glazer's kind of not too sure, very cautious, we'll see. But I think the Joneses, by letting this get out, they're throwing up the, let's talk business sign on the bus. And in 2 weeks in Indianapolis, we're going to see how serious they are.
Williams in the super chat, we appreciate you. He says hi. I like that he started with hi.
Hi.
Huh. If Jerry does not spend in free agency, then all these moves will come to naught. CP
True.
must have quality starters to improve the defense.
Sure.
Which is why I understand, and I do believe that as a front office, you're supposed to entertain everything. The idea is, how do I build my best football team? So if somebody were to call you and ask about whoever, your job is to listen and be like, I mean, I don't know, maybe there's something you could tell me that I would think would make my football team better. Here's where I struggle with the idea of tagging and trading George Pickens, and tell me if you agree or disagree. But if you tag and trade George Pickens and it's 4 draft picks, you have announced to me you're not trying to be your best this year. You're trying to be your best in 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Well, they're thinking they can't get a long-term deal with him, Jeff. That's the problem. That's the issue there. They would love to keep George Pickens. I think they're worried about David Mulugheta. And you should be worried about David Mulugheta. The man is a friggin' like a knight in shining armor with a big ass silver sword, just whacking people. He's on horseback. He comes riding in and your village just cowers. That's what he does. And I mean that in all respect. I don't mean that in a bad way, like he's just hacking people up. But when David Mulugheta shows up in your doorstep, bad things are about to happen to you. You're going to get a player, but you are going to pay for that player. I don't think he's ever had a player play on the tag. I think you could check me on that.
Yeah, he does a real good job of making it noisy enough.
And you know what? He doesn't get to the 5th-year contract either. This guy is a savage when it comes to how he fights for his guys. And I respect the hell out of that. But I think this is more not about the Cowboys. The Cowboys are probably thinking, Jerry could say that, listen, I'm not worried about David Mulugheta. No, sir, you should be worried about David Mulugheta. He's like you. He's got billions of dollars of players tied up. You know? I mean, let's not act like this guy's not a formidable foe. Yeah. But I think that I think everybody here would love George Pickens. I think they're preparing in a way that if it turns into what we saw with Micah Parsons, and Jerry got mad at Micah. They could have got a deal. They could have got a deal done. Jerry got mad at him. That's really what happened. We've talked about that a bunch.
Yeah.
So I think, to me, this is, and by the way, Micah Parsons' whole thing, we're talking Micah Parsons. I was mentioning him, and just real quick, I found out that, listen, he's talking about him in Philadelphia and getting traded and all that stuff like that. I talked to some folks over at the Cowboys, and they were pretty adamant about this one. Not trying to be disrespectful to Micah, excuse me.
Oh, Jerry got you. He got you saying Michael.
No. Yeah, I did.
Michael Parsons.
Yeah, it's being 62 years old sometimes. Micah Parsons, they said, yeah, they had conversations with Philadelphia, but it basically was, hey, thanks for the call. No, we're not going to trade him to you. And that was their conversation. It wasn't like they were talking a bunch of parameters and this is what we're going to do, and it was close. I don't believe this was really close. And, Micah has his side. Cool. Dallas has his side. Like, yes, we fielded a call from Philadelphia. Yes, we told them that we were not interested in trading him to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, we're not giving our best player to a division rival. We're going to shock you here and say thanks for the call and have a nice day.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, if you're going to get the best return from them, whatever. That's what I would think.
Yeah.
Carrie's in the super chat. He said, "Hi,
Hi.
is Dak really causing a $74 million cap hit this year?" Thanks.
No.
I'll hang up and listen. The answer is no. Currently, yes. They're going to
yes, but they're going to flip it. Yeah.
Yeah. At some point this offseason, you'll hear Dak restructured his contract, and the Cowboys have saved $30,960,000.
There you go.
No, he will count 74 minus 31. He will count 43. So enjoy that. That's what he's actually going to count this year. All right. Are you ready for Jeff's edition of NFL Draft This or That?
Sure.
Here's what I've done. I've taken guys that I see projected to go in the same range.
I like this.
I just
One of my
want
favorite
you
games.
to tell me who would you prefer that
Would I
the
rather
Dallas Cowboys select and why. You don't get to just tell me a name. You have to tell me why.
Okay. Oh, this is for the Cowboys, right? This is not for me?
It's for the Cowboys.
For the Cowboys. Okay, gotcha.
And if you want to,
I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best to guess. Yeah.
If you want to throw in a caveat of who you like better, I think the people do appreciate that.
All right. Sure.
Number one, we go through this draft, and lucky for you, in the top 11 picks, couple offensive linemen go, couple of receivers go, and it's time to pick at number 12. No cornerbacks have been selected. Mansoor Delane of LSU versus Jermod McCoy of Tennessee. Who are you choosing?
I think the Cowboys would probably take Delane. I would take McCoy. Well, he's going to work out. He's going to work out. McCoy's going to work out, and he's going to be available. I think he's going to be at the combine. He's already starting to work with trainers, as far as not trainers for rehab trainers. He's working with trainers to work on his speed and his quickness and footwork and all that stuff like that. I think we're going to see McCoy work out this spring in preparing for the draft. My gut feeling is the Cowboys would probably have Delane above McCoy. That would be my gut feeling. I would take McCoy over him. I love both players. I just feel like, though, to me, when you look at McCoy, you just watch how he is able to just navigate any route. He's not fazed by anything you do to him. He is competitive. He's tough. His ability to stay in phase, to handle inside routes, outside routes, anywhere you want to take that young man, he is more than willing to go play football with you. He could shut down your best player. He absolutely can do that. I have a feeling the Cowboys will take Delane. Delane could do very similar things. I just think that McCoy does it on just a little bit of a higher level.
So I did the Bryan Broaddus test last night. I was in a good groove, and I was watching some guys, and I was thinking about potential things that we could talk about, and this is something that I had in my mind. And after watching them on tape, I had McCoy above Delane.
Yeah.
At some point in the next month, I flipped him just because I'm scared of an ACL and not seeing you play football this year or whatever. And last night I went back and I was just reading my notes. This is the Broaddus test. You read your notes to see.
Read your notes.
Do you have a guy in the right place? And so I read all my notes on both those players.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you probably got to just have a pair and trust your notes. And so, I think I would also take Jermod McCoy. I don't like injury guys. But no, I think to me, the offseason.
He's going to work out. He's going to work out. He's going to make you.
For me, he has to, or I wouldn't. I would not pick him as the first corner if he does not.
He is going to make you feel better by working out. I think that's where we're going to look at the combine, and maybe not at the combine. We'll see. But I have a feeling that you're going to see this guy this spring, and you're going to have a 6 foot, 193-pound guy working out, and you're going to be happy with what you saw.
Yeah. I have a cornerback follow-up question for you, but I'm going to ask you it in just a second, Bryan, because first I want to tell you about our friends at Underdog. Shout out to KT who helped us out while you were helping out your coworkers. He's a big golf guy on Underdog.
He is a golf guy. Did he give you some guys? Did he give you some Scotty Schefflers and stuff like that?
He just told me, he was like, wait, do we have the Underdog read today? Because I'm really excited because, boy, when I tell you, I crushed it last week on the course with my Underdogs. But, yeah, you can do whatever sport you like with our friends at Underdog. I don't know, maybe you took advantage during the big game. I sure did. And, you got your player picks where you stay higher or lower on different stats. Now they also have prediction markets where you can parlay money lines, player projections, spreads, totals, and more. All available in most states on Underdog, including California, Texas, Florida, and more. That's our friends at Underdog, who we do like very much, and we'd encourage you to go over there and sign up and have yourself some fun with some sports. Download the app today. Use the promo code TAPE, T-A-P-E, and you get $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. That's promo code T-A-P-E because you're watching Trust the Tape. Follow-up question about cornerbacks. If the Cowboys don't move in this draft, they stay at 12, they stay at 20. When you get to 20, how many cornerbacks are you comfortable using a top 20 pick on? If, in fact, let me go to my board because I can tell you. And you just got to guess at your board. I know you're going to have other guys that you have in that range, but you hear this name. Cisse. You hear Cisse at number 20
Terrell,
out of South Carolina. You're good with it.
Terrell, Clemson.
Avion Terrell. You're good with it.
Hood, Tennessee.
Colton Hood. You're good with it.
That's it.
The end. I think I agree with you. And I have 3 more guys in the second round with the grade.
Abney,
my next one.
Rivers from Duke. Have you seen Rivers from Duke play yet?
I have not, but I actually have my tall corner at Florida. Moore, I think, I have a guy. I think he's real nice. Yeah. And Pons, little tiny man from Indiana. Got him. Watch
Rivers if you can from Duke. And I want to come back with you on another show, and you tell me which of the 2 smaller corners, Rivers or Pons, that you like the best.
Okay. Pons, it's tough because the first thing I watched on him was against Ohio State. And so I had him as a 43rd round guy because they just had him playing off coverage, and Jeremiah Smith was like, thanks, I'll catch the ball. But then you actually watch him play all the games. And you go, oh, okay.
Tight. Well, watch him down the tight red zone there too. I think in that championship game they got they had some battles down there. He didn't give up very much down there. He was battling his ass off, but that's what he does. He's that kind of player. Him, and I think you'll like Rivers from Duke a lot too.
Okay, I'm on it. I'm on the case. Next, this or that. The Dallas Cowboys are hanging out in their draft room, and they've already picked Jermod McCoy at 12. Now we get on down the board, and we get to the 20th overall pick. And what you have here is obviously Reuben Bain is gone, David Bailey's gone, Arvell Reese is gone, and you're trying to get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
Akheem Mesidor at Miami or Cashius Howell at Texas A&M.
Yeah, here's another one of those. The medical will tell the story on Mesidor.
The
feats. And, I'm not looking at the age. I'm looking at the feats. Yeah. I think the feats are the issues there. Howell might be a better fit for how they might want to play their scheme.
If they're going to play 3 linemen and
and
the way they played a 5-2, really, even though you'd call it 3-4 or whatever.
Yeah, and a stand-up, and a stand-up. How the Bryan Broaddus way of doing it, he would take Mesidor first, and then he would take Howell second. I think you got to throw height in there too from Texas Tech in this mix right here. So, but yeah, I would take Mesidor first, Howell second. Maybe the Cowboys would be opposite that because they might see Howell as more of that guy, more of that stand up, that 5th guy that teams like to use. What we saw with Philadelphia, with Smith and guys like that. Well, if you're kind of trying to match the players to the scheme, I think they would look at Howell right there.
I think that one would be a fun debate because I do think that they're very different, right? Akheem Mesidor is probably 265 pounds, give or take.
Yeah.
And he's got some rushes where you go, holy cow, like this dude's got a whole toolbox. Like he got
a lot.
What he's gonna do here?
He got a lot.
He's got power, quickness, speed. He's got all these things. And you go to Cashius Howell and you go, well, doesn't have a whole lot of sand in his pants. Maybe not a 3-down player out of the gate. But holy cow, when you can get off the ball like that and then just get low and turn the corner, boy, that works out pretty well, doesn't it? And so I have them very close for me. And I do have Mesidor and then Howell.
Yeah.
But
there's games you could watch Howell, and he's brilliant. You could watch him against my LSU Tigers, and he
destroyed LSU.
You watch him against Notre Dame, and he got blocked up pretty good very early in the season.
Yeah, and if your thing that you've got, and I don't want to say he's just a run around people guy. Like I have seen a spin move. I've seen him use the threatening outside to win inside. But it is a lot of his winning is just I beat you around the corner. And if you can take that away.
Yeah, there's snaps where you swear he knows the snap count. Yeah. I mean that's how he gets after you. And I kind of feel like though this is a really high IQ player though too, but he can rush different ways. And I think Mesidor, I'm not saying Mesidor is a one-trick pony, because if you told me I could draft Bain at 12 and Mesidor at 20, I would do that.
Take them both?
I wouldn't. I'd take them down both.
You still don't have your Hume. I mean, I guess they both have some of it.
Yeah, those guys. I watched them for 17 weeks just get after people's ass. And the bigger the game, the better they played. And I
also think both of the Miami guys are, whatever you do with this word, I make fun of the word a lot. Like I think we assign culture to something after you've already won a bunch of games, and you're like, oh, the culture was good. But like I've said this before, and I'll just keep saying it. If you watch the whole Miami defense play, if your effort and your physicality is not on 100, you'll stand out on that team.
You will be embarrassed. Yeah, you will be embarrassed. I mean, our guy Scott, the
right,
corner.
Their nickel corner is the biggest psycho. Like that's what you.
I'm just telling you, man. This. I got him as a safety. Me
too.
By the way,
you can do man coverage in the slot.
And I'm kind of like Downs, Thieneman from Oregon, Scott from Miami, Ramsey, McNeil Warren, that hyphenated name.
Yeah.
This is going to be, I think people are going to find the type of safety that they need in this draft. I really, really do.
Yeah. And I know you hate LSU, but I also like AJ Halsey because I like smashing people. I think it's fun.
You know what? An interesting body type. I just don't think he is particularly quick.
Yeah. He's like 6 foot, 220 something.
He was very much like a guy I was with in Green Bay a long time ago named Leroy Butler, who was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But that same kind of body type, not a kind of thick.
Yeah, he's
not
2 C's. Yeah. Thick with 2 C's.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's see. The last one that I think that I have for you is, I guess this is at 20, but to make it a more comfortable conversation for me, you've traded down with Buffalo or something.
Okay.
And now you have an extra 3rd round pick, maybe a 3 and a 4. I don't know.
Congratulations.
And you are picking between C.J. Allen at Georgia and Anthony Hill at the University of Texas.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm a big
because I wanted to fight you.
I'm a big Anthony Hill fan.
Yeah.
And I have him above C.J. Allen. The guy that's interesting right now that Vach has fought me on.
Uh-oh.
And he likes Golladay from Cincinnati.
Jake, yeah, okay. Right.
Yeah, he's a big fan of his.
All right.
And he says, and explain if you'd like. I'm not. You're making the face like you're eating something really raw and bad.
I just like to make real weird sounds for disagreement. No, Golladay's fun. Like, I think he's big, he's strong, and he's fast.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking for, and I would do the same thing with Anthony Hill, honestly.
Oh, I have him in the 3rd round myself. I have it. Yeah, but Vach is talking maybe at 20 he would consider him.
Well, I love, trust, and respect Vach. So if that happened, I would just have to say I love, trust, and respect Vach, and I need him to be right on this player because he's one of those guys that I think has all of the things.
He has got. Go back and I did the same thing, man. I thought this was a 4th round player,
Yeah.
And you Vach is like, take out the sides where he's or the plays where he's playing in the slot and he's playing whether they play that was it 3-5-3 and he's
Yeah, they run
playing as
a
a
wonky ass defense.
yeah, and so he plays, but watch him when he plays inside, watch him when he runs, watch him when he tackles. He's 6'4", he's 240 pounds.
Yeah,
And I was kind of thinking as he's a will linebacker. I'm not sure. And there are people that have kind of jumped in on the chats with me and said, no, bro, this guy could play Mike linebacker. And I don't see it. I would rather keep him free and let him run to the ball. But then I kind of feel like for the Cowboys, they got a guy like that with Overshown. And then Vach counters with me. It's like, is Overshown really guaranteed to be here?
The hard part is if
and
not,
that's
now I need
fair.
2.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's really fair that he said that because he's not. Every time we want to say, oh, Overshown, he's standing next to you and I over on the sidelines.
Right.
So I respect what Vach has done here. I can't put Golladay, I can't put him that high. I do read notes, and it sounds better than a 4th round player, which I initially thought.
So you moved him up.
I moved him up, but I can't get him in that. Vach has got him in that 1-2-5 range, 1-2-4, the middle of the 2nd round.
Yeah.
With the possibility of like, hey, if we back up in the, back up late into the 1st round.
Yeah.
I think Vach would absolutely consider him. Hey, listen, I'm going to argue with people, but I know one thing. I know you'll do the work. I know Dane Brugel will do the work. I know Vach will do the work. I know, Zach Wolchuk, Aisha Morrison. I know everybody. If you tell me you're fighting me on a player like that, I respect the F out of you for doing it because I didn't see it that way. But listen, that Schlesinger guy.
Oh yeah. All over it.
He had that. I know we all love the kid. We all love the kid. It was North Carolina State that Pittsburgh took because he was so damn banged up. Peyton Wilson. Peyton Wilson. Yeah. And I mean, those guys came in the league and played at a very, very, very high level. Very high level.
Yeah.
And similar type of a player. Very similar type of player.
If everybody's rankings look the same, I get bored. It's not fun. Like, what are you doing? You're just
I love when there's a disagreement. I really, really do. It makes me feel at home again. 30 years ago when I was doing this stuff. I mean, it really makes me feel good when you could argue about a Chris Johnson corner from San Diego State. Or you can argue about this guy or Banks from Florida or Daryl Jackson from Florida State. This makes me feel good again. You know?
Yeah. I'm actually and maybe it's just I have an affinity for the tiny man. I will have both Jacob Rodriguez at Tech, and he's not technically a tiny man. He is 6'1".
Yeah.
And Kyle Lewis, the Pitt linebacker that also plays.
I got to watch Kyle Lewis. Yeah, I got to watch Kyle Lewis.
I will have both of them above Golday. And I have CJ Allen over Anthony Hill because to me, this is and I love that you know these words now. Once upon a time, you looked at us like, I don't understand your words.
Floor ceiling.
Yeah. Like, I think you watch CJ Allen at Georgia and you're watching the quarterback of the defense. You're watching a guy who's going to do the right thing on each play, right?
The floor?
He's a floor guy. Anthony Hill's a ceiling guy. I think Anthony Hill's well, I'm going to tell you how big he is, how fast he is, how strong he is. He has stopping power. I want you to look at these good plays. But I think in terms of, I think I can see on tape that, so he hasn't always been doing this. Like you're going to sell me on his pass rush and other things. And I'm talking about my middle linebacker. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this guy that does it right.
I asked the guy at the Cowboys because I kind of heard some whispers that maybe that they would have Allen over Hill, that they weren't really fired up about Hill all that much. And I had a guy told me, he says, no. I said, listen how I texted the guy. I said, hey, am I hitting the crack pipe if I feel like that Allen should be over Hill? And he said, no. He says, you might be closer to smoking dope, but not crack pipe. Yeah. So, I mean, so it was kind of a weird exchange. But he says, my guy said, listen, these guys are close. They're very close. And it's not as big as gap. Whereas I was hearing whispers that Dallas clearly liked Allen over Hill. And besides this, now you've got the Georgia linebacker coach is now on staff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now that's your avenue right there.
But what if their outside linebacker coach has never met their inside linebackers? What if he's like, don't know, never met the guy? I only worked with the outside guys.
I need to learn about all these guys, man. Need to learn about all of them.
All right, Brian. Good to have you back. Nice.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Trust the Tape in the
Appreciate
book.
you, man.
You're
Thank
following
you.
Crown Global Media, both on YouTube and on Twitter. Huh?
Can I promote something we're doing right now this week? On Crown Global Media? I appreciate that, Jeffrey. Today, with Foch doing all right, we're having on Drew Fabianich, the director from the Senior Bowl.
Nice.
Will be on with us today. And Drew was a scout for the Cowboys for 18 years. So we're going to circle back on some of these things of previous processes, maybe get to the bottom of some of these picks and why they worked and why they didn't work with Drew. And then at the end of the week, we've also got John Owning from Pro Football Focus is going to come on and talk to us.
You're loading up the guests. I like what you're doing.
Yeah,
here.
we're trying our best. We're trying our best.
Get over there and follow them. Hit the like button on this one because it's good for the algorithm. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.